Hey there, everybody. It is Tim here with Robot Butt Recommends, and let me tell you, it has been a fucking week. Missed last Thursday. Some unexpected issues came up that I ended up having to deal with. Couldn't really summon the energy to sit in front of the computer any longer than I already was, so apologize for missing out, but I have plenty of content for today to help get us through. And the goal of today is longevity, because weather's getting nice, we're all getting stir crazy, states have started reopening, but we're starting to see that's not working out super well, especially Georgia, where they are now presenting dates out of order to make it look like cases are going down when they actually aren't, but we'll put that aside for now. What I wanted to suggest today was some choose-your-own-adventure fun, especially in honor of the recent Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt interactive special that Netflix put out. Choose-your-own-adventure is a really fun thing to do. We all grew up with those books as kids, but now with advances in different multimedia, that's now expanding into a lot of really cool ways. And video games is one of them. And the first thing I want to recommend today is a really, really good one called Until Dawn. It is a game that came out for PS4 years and years ago, and it is a choose-your-own slasher flick, essentially, and it is very, very well done. My fiance, not a huge gamer. She will sit down and watch certain games with me, particular horror games. She's not a big video game person. She fucking loves this game. She has played it more times than I have, so that if that tells you anything. But the premise is, a group of kids, they go to a lodge that one of the kids' family owns in the off season, so they get kind of a free weekend in this lodge on the ski resort and everything. So it's a very classic horror movie setup. But what makes the game really fun and interesting is it lets you juggle between the different characters. So different points in the game, you're controlling different characters, and throughout there are various choices that you get to make. There are points where it will ask you to do one thing or another. And even within those, there are certain ones that open up what they call butterfly effect points, where it isn't just a small aesthetic choice or you get slightly different dialogue than if you chose the other way. There are major consequences that can come from choosing one thing or the other, including characters dying. You can have a character die and then they're just gone for the rest of the story. So there's a lot of replayability. You can sink hours and hours and hours into this. Hello, Jen. Hi, nice to see you. And the cool thing is, since this is an older game, you can get it pretty cheap. I didn't look up the prices, but you could probably get it for $5-10 and just sink hours into it. The goal is to get as many characters as you can to survive to the end. Even though there are a lot of different choices you can make, they all tend to bottleneck towards one kind of big ending, but the way that you can get there varies, and how much you understand about that ending will also vary depending on the choices you make, because obviously if one character gets killed off early on because of a choice you make, the information that they may have picked up based on what their path would have been, that now gets closed off to you. So there's a lot of really cool things you can discover replaying it. You can turn it into a competition between you and other people to see who can get the most people to survive to the very end. So it's very, very fun. The one drawback is it is a PS4 exclusive. So if you don't have a PlayStation 4, it's going to be very hard for you to check that out. But that's why there is bonus content today to make up for that, and also make up for the fact that I ditched you guys last week on Thursday. But there is another interactive Netflix special that you can play around with, and that is the Black Mirror Bandersnatch movie. Now, overall, in terms of the Black Mirror canon, Bandersnatch isn't the best story. There are definitely stronger stories in terms of plot and everything within Black Mirror, but none of those let you make your own choices. And that's the big draw of Bandersnatch, is it is kind of like the new Kimmy Schmidt special, choose your own adventure. There are various points where you can make choices and have characters do different things. What's fun about Bandersnatch is it gets very, very meta in terms of video games and the artificiality of choice and stuff like that. So if you are a video game person, there's kind of an added level of enjoyment. And the story itself does revolve around a video game. The basic premise is a young programmer in the 80s gets a chance to work with, the hotshot video game programmer of the time to adapt a epic fantasy novel called Bandersnatch into a choose-your-own-adventure computer game in the 80s style. And just the kind of madness that ensues in them trying to create this game. I'm not going to get too specific into the different choices and plots. There are essentially 5 main endings is what the official count is from Netflix and Charlie Brooker. But there are a lot of variations on those 5 endings as well. And there is a lot of, meta humor within playing with the construct of essentially treating a movie about a video game as a video game, and what actual choice characters have and what choice you have being the one controlling them, and how much choice you yourself have as the orchestrator of what's going on. It's very fun, and just like Until Dawn, it is something that you can sink hours into. Pro tip, if you are using Netflix on a game console like PlayStation or Xbox, use your game controller, because the DualShock and whatever Xbox calls it, sorry, I'm a PlayStation guy, when the choices come up and you get the countdown, the game controller will vibrate if that's what you're using. So it kind of gives you an extra playing a game feel. So like Until Dawn, it's a very fun way to just kind of hunker down and get a lot of mileage out of the entertainment. It's something you can keep coming back to, which is a really hot commodity right now as we are trying to figure out what we want to do and how much we're willing to gamble our lives for in order to go out and do things. Hey, stay inside and just play this over and over and over again. That's essentially what I've been doing. So yes, Bandersnatch is available on Netflix, so that's going to be really easy for people for you guys to be able to go out and try. Until Dawn is really, really good. Of the 2, that was the one I was most excited to throw out as a recommendation. But unfortunately, if you do not have a PS4, you're kind of out of luck. That's the drawback there. Legally, at least, I suppose there are plenty of emulations you could try to find to get around that inconvenient fact, but I cannot condone those within this capacity. So yes, Until Dawn, excellent game, choose your own adventure. Bandersnatch, very fun choose your own adventure movie. Go out and check those, and as always, please make sure you're staying safe and healthy. And oh, here's another bonus treat. Let me see if I can get her up here. Everyone come say happy birthday to my cat. This is Perlock Holmes, and she is 4 years old today. Yes. I'm a cat dad. But yes, as I was saying, stay safe, stay healthy. We are going to get through this. I will be back on Thursday with another recommendation for you guys, and I will see you then. Take care.